Welcome SAFC family to our first installment of Into the Ink with SAFC. First up, we have our guy Santiago Patiño.
Patiño will get on the end of this, and Patiño guides it in for the hat trick and his third of the night, and a 3-0 San Antonio FC lead.
What got you interested into tattoos initially?
I think from a young age, just watching like soccer, you know, I always focus a lot on the forwards. And the forwards that I like, you know, they look like rough. They look like ruthless, you know, with the sleeves. So I was like, when I'm older, I want to get some tattoos on me. And then the way I just started, just like little by little, like little experiences or things that are important to me, I just started adding it little by little. Because, I mean, at some point, you know, they're expensive too. And I was just starting like in college, so no job. So, you know, like little by little, started getting little things. And now I have a full arm.
And I think that's interesting because I think a lot of people that see a sleeve and they immediately think, oh, he got this all in one sitting. But a lot of times it's just like little pieces of the puzzle, right? Yeah. That you just add together as life goes on. Now you talked about being a kid and watching soccer players with the tattoos. Is there that one soccer player that you can think of that was like, oh man, I love his tattoos?
So there's a forward called Paolo Guerrero. He's from Peru. And for me, like, this guy is really good. Saw him a lot when I was little, and he has a bunch of tattoos, and he has like, at one point he had a crazy haircut too, and I loved it. He was almost shaved all around and just long hair in the top, and like playing, like hitting the ball looks sick. I think that was one of the guys, like I kind of was like, I want tattoos when I'm scoring goals, you know?
That drops in front, and it's Patiño who's got his second, and San Antonio extends the lead to 2.
Talk about getting your first one. You said you were in college when you got your first one?
Yeah, my first tattoo was my mother's name, and that's how I started. So it was Maria Eugenia, and that was my first one ever. And then from there, the whole arm came in.
So let's talk about that first time going, right? Because that's an experience right there. Because if it didn't go well that first time, you might not have a full sleeve right now. So clearly that first experience went well. Can you tell us about that? Who took you? Did your mom take you? Like, where were you at? Tell us about that first tattoo experience.
So at this moment, I was playing college soccer in FIU in Miami. I think, I mean, at that time, my family lives in Orlando, so I was there by myself. I was in dorms. I just said, like, oh, I'm just gonna get a tattoo. And I think I didn't ask for permission. I was like, I think 17 at that time. I went, I said, oh, I want my mom's name. I want this, and I got it. That was the first one. You know, for me, I was like, I like it, and then I started adding from there.
When you first went and got that tattoo, you hadn't ever touched a needle before. You had never felt that before. No. Now that one's not a huge one, but it is on kind of a prominent spot. There's bone right there on that forearm. How did it feel, man?
This one, it hurts a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think like, it was good because it was quick. You know, it was like just a name, so it takes 8 minutes. Yeah. But it for sure burned a little bit, and I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't get more. But then with the time, you just go and you get used to it.
So what was the separation between your first tattoo and your second? Did you wait like a year, or once you got that first one, were you like, dude, I'm about to cover my arm up?
Because of soccer, you know, because of the sun, and always like playing with other people, hitting other people, I was like, I don't want to get more right now because of the season stuff. But I think I probably got one at the end of fall. So kind of like around November, the first one. And then the other one, I probably got it at the end of spring. It was like May.
So you didn't waste much time?
No, it was like quick. And then after that, because that one, like I think my mom was mad at me, like, because I got a tattoo, but then the good thing was like, no, it's your name, don't be mad. And then the other one, after that, she was like, she didn't care no more.
And you talked about your mom being your first tattoo, and I want to go back to that because clearly that means you and your mom have a very, very close relationship. Can you talk a little bit about you and your mom's relationship and what made you decide, like, this is going to be the first thing I put on my body?
People that are close to me, they know, like, me and my mom are like friends, you know. She's older than me for sure, but sometimes I'm like the dad and she's like the young girl. I love her, you know, like, she's my life. And we came to this country when I was very young. And, you know, she fought for me, you know. Like, a kid at 11 years old cannot do much. Like, she worked and she made sure I was like in a good path. So for sure, she's my life. Yeah.
So what was that first conversation like? Did you show her a picture of the tattoo initially? Did you just call her and tell her? Did you wait till you saw her in person? What did that conversation go like, that first tattoo?
I think I showed her like a couple of pictures, videos, and she's like, because she didn't believe me. I think I told her by the phone, she said, oh, it's not true. And then I mean, she was like more reactive when they happened in person, but she didn't care much.
You got past that first tattoo, you got your second one, Mom's was cool with it, and now it's time to start building that sleeve that you have. So we have a lot of tattoos there, right? And of course, we don't want you to have to break down every single one, but talk to us about some of your favorite ones. Talk to us about kind of the journey it took to start adding this sleeve, because you tell a very vivid story with your tattoos.
My junior year of college, something like really big happened in my life, that one of my cousins died. And then from there, I decided to get his names. So it's Diego Alejandro, I got it in my legs. And then I got like some roses right here. And that was for him. So like that was like probably my biggest tattoo. And then from there, I started adding, I got an angel, San Miguel Arcángel, it's an angel. And then I think in 2019, in the off season, I went to Colombia for almost like 3 months and a half. And over there, I met a really good artist. I kind of like told him like my idea. The idea was like a step by step, it's a path. So that's why I got like the stairs. And I got it like in my forearm, because when you go like this, it looks a lot more steps. But when you go like this, it's less steps. He did the stairs, he did the clock, and it's God. I was like, God's time. So step by step, it's a process, it's a path, and it's God's time. I had a big piece right here. In my mind, I'm always like, I build myself, you know, like I train myself to become a beast, you know, like I train every day, I prepare myself to become the best I can be. So I got like a statue, and it's a guy building himself from a rock. And just little things, just more like, I always say like God guides me. I came to this country not knowing nobody, like not knowing the language with my mom and I, and the way my path went, it was, I just said God guides me, because when I came here, I had no idea how college soccer worked. You know, like I just had play, trust God, do my thing, and then everything has put in the path of where I am now, you know. Then I have another one that I always say, like, trust the process, because I felt every time I fail or adversity comes my way, it gives me a lesson, and then I apply it to my present. I just feel like every time I trust the process, I trust the path, I'm just getting better and better. Instead of like getting frustrated, I just take it like, I can learn and grow from this situation and keep going, you know.
What does it mean for you when you're able to pay tribute to these special people in your life by putting their names on your body? What does that mean for you?
Like a lot of people don't understand that as a soccer player, like like they might look cool in the field, you know, but outside sometimes it's hard, you know, like a lot of the guys in their team, nobody has a family here. A couple of the guys have their girlfriends or wives, but most of the guys are here, like all the families are away, so we spend a lot of time by ourselves. So we just gotta FaceTime or figure ways to talk. So I feel like just having a family, you know, like you here fighting for their family too, like our family. For me, it motivates me when I see my mom's name, have like the F right here, that means my family. And then when I score, like I kiss it. Because for me, like I wanna help my family a lot more, and I wanna be with them more. So like I'm doing a lot of sacrifices to be here, but for a good cause, you know?
So it's just that reminder of what you're doing it for.
For me, like I like it. I like how it looks on my body. I like it, how it looks on me, how it makes me feel, the style, you know? And why not, you know?
And of course, everybody knows with tattoos, we have the stories, we have all of the good feelings. But when you get a tattoo, it could hurt. When you get a tattoo, there could be a lot of pain with that. So talk to us about some of your more painful tattoos.
So I had the whole sleeve, but the spots that hurt the most was like down here.
Right on that wrist.
And then right here, like because the hand folders. And then this one, like I got that one and I was still training. This part took, I think, like a month and a half to heal, because every time I was running, I was breaking like the skin again. I got one in my elbow, just like a little design. And people thought like that one hurt, but the one that hurt the most was here in this one, for sure. Like that little spot right there. The rest, like, it's not like you don't feel nothing, but you can take it easy.
Let me tell y'all, for those of y'all that don't have tattoos, I've never heard anybody say the elbow doesn't hurt. The elbow is probably the most painful place to get a tattoo, but that's why I always want to ask that, because everybody's pain is different. Everybody's pain tolerance is different.
The ones that I was like, wow, what did I get myself into was here and here. Like those were, that spot was too much.
And that's a perfect segue, because some people, they fear when they get tattoos that they're gonna get something that maybe they regret, maybe something that's permanent that they can't ever get rid of. Have you had that where you've gotten a tattoo that you regret? Do you have that one tattoo where you're like, probably shouldn't have got this one?
So my stepdad, he's really like a business guy, right? So when he saw like my hand tattoos, he was like, he was, you know, he's like the coolest stepdad ever, you know. He always supports me, whatever, and he just said to me like, "In the hands, wow." Like he just said that comment. But I mean, I get what he's saying, you know. I mean, I think maybe like the hands and the neck are probably like places where you can, no matter what you wear, they can always see.
Would you ever go neck?
I don't know, bro.
You thought about it, though. I can tell you thought about it.
I like neck tattoos, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
That might end up being your most painful one on that neck, right?
Maybe.
Now, you talked about you and your mom being super close. And getting that first tattoo was a lot for her. You know, it took her a minute to adjust. Does she have any tattoos now that you have some?
So she never had tattoos. My mom right now, she's gonna be 42, if I'm not mistaken. And she had no tattoos. And like 4 years ago, after I got my tattoo, she started with one too. Oh, so we got this one. That's infinity. Me and her, we got one together. And after that, now she has like 6.
So like you got her started.
Yeah, she got a neck tattoo too right now in Colombia.
Wow.
We went to the same artist, like, and she just got some stars and it looks good. But yeah, now after like she got one, she has like 6 now.
So what was that conversation like when you guys got that first one? Because I'm assuming you probably had to convince her to get that first one. There's probably a little talking to, right?
What I think was like I wanted her to get another tattoo, and I was like, oh, let's get one together, and that's how it started.
We talked about why you have the tattoos. We talked about what they meant to you. Now let's look ahead, because every person that got tattoos, they never really got their last tattoo just yet, right? Yeah. Because you're clearly gonna keep adding to it. So do you have an area in your body that you want to start with next? Do you have a tattoo in mind that you want to start with next?
For sure, like the next piece I want to do, probably do like the off season. My dad was a professional soccer player, so like from I was little, I would go to a stadium and I would go see him play, and like the passion over there of the fans, you know, like the stadium, the atmosphere that you feel, it's crazy, you know. And like I think that's one of the main reasons why, like, when I was little, I want to be a professional soccer player, for like that passion that you feel in that field. But I want to get like myself and my cousin, because there's a picture of my grandma's house, like me and my cousin that died. We were like both hugging each other in the stadium. Yeah. Like we would just come hang out after the game, and we would just go and shoot the ball because my dad was the player. I want to get like me and him hugging each other like in a stadium, and the stadium is called Atanasio Girardot. So it's the stadium in Medellin. That's kind of like a big piece I want to do, either in my quad or maybe in like the chest.
Wow.
We'll see.
So where would you go do that at? Because you've mentioned you've got your tattoos in a few different places. Would you go get a tattoo in San Antonio?
Normally, like when the season's over, I always go see my family in Colombia. So, and I probably like have this guy over there, but maybe here or maybe in Colombia. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, if you go get one in San Antonio, you got to bring us with you. Okay. We want to see it, man. We want to be able to be a part of that. Is that cool?
That's cool, man. Sounds
That's cool. Awesome, man. All right, now, last question, the easiest question of the day. What's your favorite tattoo? We talked about all when we talked about the stories. What is your favorite tattoo that you have? So,
to be honest, my favorite one is the lion. Like, I think it's in a really good spot, and then when I look myself in the mirror, like from the side, I can see the lion. And I mean, I'm crazy. In my head, I'm crazy. Like, I'm really like humble with my teammates, with my people, but in my head, I learned from that you gotta believe in yourself. So when I just hit myself and I look myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh, I'm a lion. I think that lion is for sure like one of my favorites. And Santi, thank you for sharing your inspiration with us. Thank you for sharing your story, talking about your family, talking about your mother. We appreciate that so much, and that's what this is about. We want to really dive into you guys' tattoos because we know y'all didn't just get them just because they look cool. There's a reason behind them. There's a story behind them. So Santi, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, brother. Thank you for sitting down with us. Bro. SAFC family, this is the first and not the last installment of Into the Ink with SAFC. I am Brian Colbert here with Santi. Thank y'all for your time.